Welcome back to the Better Every Day podcast, where we are unlocking our best self one episode at a time. My name is David Garcia, and this is my beautiful wife, Grace Garcia.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good. Last week I was saying how I felt so busy, and a lot of people reached out and said they are feeling the same way and they relate. I still feel very busy, I'm not going to lie. But I think what has been helping me is not overwhelming myself with the big picture and just taking it 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time. Because if I look at like everything that needs to be done, everything I need to do, then I start getting overwhelmed. But I mean, I'm training for a full marathon and working full time. Like it's just gonna, it is what it is. And this week I incorporated eating good.
How you been doing with that?
Good.
Yeah?
It's easier than I thought. I mean, mind you, I've just been telling ChatGPT, like, this is what I'm eating. Tell him, like, the sizes, how much I'm eating or whatever.
How does it feel, though?
I feel like I'm eating a lot.
But how does it feel in terms of, like, you used to never want to be that locked in. And now that you're being that locked in, how does that feel? Does it feel like a lot of work? Because I feel like that's what a lot of people don't like, that they feel like, oh, like I have to be so on top of like what I eat and blah, blah, blah. Why can't I just, kind of eyeball it?
I mean, I feel like I'm kind of eyeballing it. Like, it helps ChatGPT because, like, yesterday, for example, I went out with my girlfriends and I was like, okay, what can I eat? And so I put in, I'm going to go to, we went to Nam Kitchen in Gardena. It's such a great spot. And then it told me, like, I basically told it what I want to eat, like the options, and then it told me which one's best for my protein and macros and how much over I would go or like how to make adjustments for it. And so I feel like that makes it easier rather than me trying to figure out what are the ingredients, how do I jot this down? Because then I feel like you get overwhelmed and you're like, I don't even care anymore. Like, and so thanks to AI, it has been a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I think for me, the biggest hurdle was just getting over that first feeling, like just jumping it, because you make it seem in your head way more overwhelming than it has to be. And so that's why I like prolonged it as much as possible. I knew I was gonna get there eventually. Like I was like, that's the next step.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was just dreading it because I was like, oh, it's gonna be a lot of work. And now that I'm here, I'm like, it's not that bad.
No, there's definitely easy ways to do it. And I think the easier it is, the more routine it is. And I was actually having a conversation with a friend, Sergio, again. He was like, how do you do it? You eat the same thing every single day, basically. And I'm like, and he was kind of like giving me props. And I'm like, I can't take any props for it because like my brain isn't really wired that way. Because like people like you're like, I can only eat like the same thing for like a whole week. And then after that, like I need to change it up. And I can eat the same thing for years and I'm fine. And it's easy to me. It's never been like really hard to me. So I'm like, you can't give me props for something that's easy to me. And it's just, I think the way that like my brain is set up, like there's nothing special to it. Right. But doing all that stuff that you've been doing, like, do you feel accomplished? Is there like a level of accomplishment? Because I feel like the feeling of accomplishment is kind of like a reward for you doing, especially you who like you thrive on like affirmation and stuff.
I mean, I feel good when I hit it because I feel like before I was trying it and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get my protein in. Like, I just felt like I'm so far and I'm already full and I don't know what to do. And so I'm definitely like, oh, I'm hitting it. It feels good where it's like you're right on track. But for me, it's just, I'm like, okay, I've been working out already for a little over 3 months, like consistently. And I've been seeing changes, like small changes, mind you, but like changes in my body that I'm like super proud of and it keeps me going. And so now I'm like, they say it's 80% what you eat, 20% working out. So I'm like, dang, if my 20% made me look like this, I'm like, just imagine the 80%. And so that's where I'm like, Grace, imagine the next 3 months, like, how are you going to be? And so,
oh, yeah, for sure.
I cannot wait. That's what I'm just like, I can't wait.
And the funny thing about her is that every so often, at least maybe like once a day, once every 2 days, you like flex your legs. You're like, oh, do you see growth or whatever?
Yeah.
And I always tell you, if you lock in, you're going to see the growth that you want. And I feel like you have this picture of some sort of like Instagram model, whatever, that has like, very good definition, good legs. And I feel like you want to get there. And now that you're locked in with the nutrition, I feel like you're going to be where you want to be.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's new with you?
New with me? Nothing really, unless you remind me of something. But I'm done with swimming classes. It didn't go that well. I don't feel like I learned that much. And it wasn't like that it was a bad class, but it's just, swimming is so hard for me. It's one of those, it's a huge challenge because it doesn't even come close to being like something natural for me. Whereas most of the things that I try, like, I can get it. This is one of the things where it's just like, I don't know how to get it. So I'm going to keep trying. The guys were texting today. And they're like, oh, we need to sign up for another one. Hopefully find like an indoor one or whatever. Because this one was outdoor and it was starting to get cold out there. But yeah, hopefully, keep getting it. Because eventually I do want to do a triathlon. I mean, that'd be awesome to do one.
That'd be cool.
And I mean, if I ever can fully lock in, then hopefully one day do like a full Ironman. But that thing that's a mount. Like a Mount Everest, yo. That's a lot.
You got it.
This one guy that I watch, he's training for one right now. It's going to be, I think, in November in Arizona. And he said that he's starting to like really like ramp up. And that last week he reached 22 hours worth of training in 1 week, and which is legit like a part-time. I'm like 22 hours. And he was like, I was hearing, because he has a podcast, and I was hearing like his training regimen, that sometimes he went to this training camp where they would like in one day bike 100 miles, run 15 miles, and swim a certain amount. Then the very next day, like there is no recovery day. Like the next day, it's kind of like flip. You run 20 miles, you ride 20 or like 50 miles, and then you swim like a little bit less, whatever. And then it was like a 3-day camp. And I'm like, that's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
But yeah, anyways, other than the swimming thing, I don't think there's any updates, right?
Tomorrow we're finally signing our trust. I think we said keep us accountable for a will or a trust or something at one point.
Yeah, so tomorrow we are finalizing our trust, which is a huge step for us. Granted, there isn't much that we own or have, but it's enough now that we need to protect it. And if you guys don't know anything about wills or trusts, usually people tend to know a lot about wills, which is basically like, hey, like if I die, this is what I want to happen. But the thing with a will, especially in California, is the will doesn't really do much. The government still gets to stick their hands in and kind of basically say like, this is what's actually going to happen. Like we don't really care too much about what the person wrote down, what they want to happen. So with a trust, you set up a lot more boundaries. So the government isn't able to like dip their hands in, like everything is protected. Everything goes to the T. There's a person that like manages, your health decisions, your money decisions. You set up your kids and you set up all your accounts and stuff in there. So, so tomorrow we moved forward, and tomorrow we'll be signing our trust, which will protect us and our kids. And, we'll continue building upon, everything that we have and everything that God has given us.
I feel like that was like a huge step where we could we need to do it, and we just never.
Oh yeah, we had been talking about it for years.
Finally did it, and so I'm so happy and proud of us.
Yeah, it's a huge step. Anything else with you? Oh, I guess both of us update. The last episode that we did seems like it was very well received, which is, I guess you're words of affirmation, so it's time to give you some affirmation. All the episodes that have been connecting with people usually come from you. And I want to...
Because I'm a woman.
Maybe.
I think I'm more emotional. And people want
a part of me thinks that you just come up with these things on the fly. And I really don't want to believe that, because for me, it's more valuable to me, or it means more to me for you to I'm going to take 2 or 3 days.
You just
really
hate that I'm naturally good at this?
No, I just feel like this deserves dedication, you know? But yeah, the last episode about busyness and guilt and family, which was a really great episode, and people have been reaching out to me. They reached out to you saying how they felt connected to the episode, that they felt like that's where they were, which, I mean, like in hindsight, yeah, it makes sense. Like so many, especially in America, like there's so many people that are busy all the time that have kids, and they probably have that on their mind, but nobody really talks about it. And so they just keep it in their mind. And I guess to hear somebody speak about it kind of like alleviates a little bit, and just like, oh, I'm not the only one. Okay, let me hear their perspective, and it hopefully helps them. So yeah, I'm proud of you, and thank you for thinking of those awesome topics.
Thank you. I think just people want to hear real people.
Yeah.
Like we're getting better every day, but that doesn't mean it doesn't come with its struggles. Mm-hmm. It doesn't come with downs, lows, highs, like everything. And so I'm like, if we're going to celebrate the good and like hype up what we do, like the shout outs or whatever, mm-hmm. like they need to see that, like, no, I'm like struggling with this in real time, I think, because this is reality. And so I think it's a breath of fresh air, because you don't really get that a lot. And so my goal is for everyone to know, like, you're not alone. Like, mm-hmm. we're just like you. We're ordinary people. And I think that's what's so powerful, because we're getting better every single day together. Yeah. It's not like we're way up ahead and, yeah, we're like looking down on people. It's like, no, like we're struggling through this, and if we could do it, you guys can do too.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with somebody, and he was asking me something along the lines of, what have you noticed with the things that you've been doing that, like, because I was talking about, he was saying that he wanted to get into social media, and I'm like, okay, you know, this is what it takes, you know, this is how we've been experiencing. And he was saying that he wanted to use social media as a vehicle to be able to connect with people and to be able to help them. And so I told him that that's a great idea. When you connect with people, you have to be real with them. Mm-hmm. Because for whatever reason, when you do something like this, when you do social media, when you do a podcast, when like it or not, some people tend to put you on a sort of pedestal. Right. And they're like, okay, like they're really awesome. And that's why the topics like last week are so important, because then we show the reality of it. Right. But he did ask me, like, what have you noticed that people kind of like put you on a pedestal for? And I feel like for us, I feel like it's been, people go like, oh, like, I love your guys' marriage. Like, it seems so amazing and blah, blah, blah. And I told him, I always tend to, when I hear that, immediately be like, first, it took a lot of work, and B, we are nowhere near perfect. We still have our ugly moments. We still have our fights.
Still annoy each other.
And I in no way, shape, or form ever want to have that separation of somebody putting us on a pedestal and them feeling like they're lower. Mm-hmm. Like, I always try immediately to just destroy that pedestal and be like, no, we're on the same level as you. Like, you know, we've learned different lessons maybe. And I'm sure that if I spoke to another couple, that they could teach us things that we haven't, you know, learned. So I just try to like even the playing field and just let them know, like, hey, we're both working at this. Like, there is no perfect. Mm-hmm. There is no like, me and Grace are not complacent. Me and Grace, you know, like isn't rainbows and butterflies every single day. Like, we struggle with our kids. We struggle with our marriage sometimes. And like, yeah, so.
I agree.
Yeah. But moving on. Today was my turn, and I think we're going to talk about something that I believe is important, and it's the topic of expectations. And the reason why I bring this up is from this conversation that I had with this friend of mine, as well as observing other friends, as well as we've graduated from Exodus, or no, not Exodus. We've graduated from Deuteronomy to now Joshua. And in that process, I've noticed one thing that kind of came to mind. And again, this all kind of aligned. And then I've been thinking about expectations, and I put myself in the shoes of Israel getting liberated from Egypt, being told I have a promised land for you, 40 years in the wilderness, a whole generation dies, the new generation gets to go into the promised land. Moses doesn't even make it in. Joshua gets to lead, and they cross over finally after 40 years into the promised land. And I feel like the expectation along the way was kind of, God's given us a promise, we're going to cross over, and it's all going to be rainbows and butterflies. Especially after hearing time and time again, this is the land that flows with milk and honey, right? Like this rainbow expectation gets built up. And they cross over, and it's far from that. Like immediately they have to like start conquering people. And it made me think, like, how many times do we get promised something from God? How many times do we have goals or dreams? How many times do we want to step into a relationship and are all happy about it? How many times do we want to start a business? Again, we're all happy about it. How many times do we want to venture out and do something amazing, something great, something worth it? And we have this expectation that it's all going to go amazingly. And the moment that you cross over, you realize it's not easy. And so that's what I want to talk about today, because I feel like a lot of us may have sometimes that thought of it'll be easy, especially with God, especially with, the all powerful, especially with the one that goes before us, especially with the one that makes 1,000 fall to our left and 10,000 to our right. Like, how could it not be easy? But Christian life, normal life, goals, dreams, like never usually work out as smooth as you want it to. And so I feel like this is something that we need to talk about to bring a level of realism to it. Now, me just saying that right now, I want to ask you, what do you think is the right way to go about it? And this will be subjective, because I say realistic and a lot of people go, it's better to be optimistic. Because a lot of people see realism as pessimism. So what do you think? What's the most healthy way in your perspective to go about crossing over into something possibly great?
Or something new?
Mm-hmm.
Probably recognizing who God is. And so knowing that he's loving and he's good and he has best for us. I think having that perspective in mind. And then being prepared for any situation. Because there's people who, I think I was talking to actually my sister about this, where she was speaking to a therapist, and that she said it in such a cool way, but I'm gonna butcher it because it's like telephone now. But it was like, yeah, when you go into a situation with these high expectations, that's not healthy, because then, boom, if it doesn't happen, you're crushed.
Yeah.
But then if you go into it saying like, oh, nothing's gonna work out on my end, like that's not good either, because it's full of, or lack of hope. And so it's just going in, recognizing our identity, God's identity, and knowing that no matter what happens, God is in control. It's like a neutral.
Why do you think we always have to fight for things? Because, like, even the miracles that you read in the New Testament, they all had to go through something harsh before they got the miracle, right? You look at the life of the Israelites going from Egypt to the Promised Land and walking into the Promised Land, and they had to fight for it. Like, why do you think God wasn't just like, the moment that you cross over, you've learned your lesson and you get to be in the land of milk and honey? Like, why do you think God always makes it to where we have to fight for things?
Because faith without action is dead. And because our purpose on earth is not to live in paradise. Our purpose on earth is to prepare for paradise. And we're so far away from looking like Christ that we need those shape-defining moments, those chiseling moments of our character, those pressing moments that's going to squeeze out the ugly in us and refine us to become more like him.
Do you think there's ever an instance where, whether it's God calling you to that place, or if it's your own personal like ambition that wants to get you to a certain goal, dream, you know, whether it be a fitness goal, a business goal, financial goal, spiritual goal, marriage, being in a relationship, like, do you think there's ever an instance where it should or it could be easy?
Yeah.
Like?
That's God's like favor and grace, where like the sun comes up on both sinners and saints. Like the rain falls and crops grow on both sinners and saints. And I think there's things that we don't necessarily like deserve, and God still gives it to us. I feel like so much of my life I've seen God's hand where it's been quote unquote easy.
But you're talking about more of like the unexpected things. While I'm going through the process, God drops something on me, and that's amazing. I'm talking about more like I'm deciding to step into this relationship. Will it be easy? Always. I'm about to start this business. Will it be easy? I am about to start this fitness journey. Will it be easy?
I don't think always.
Name something that should or could.
A relationship. I know there's people.
Bruh.
I know there's people who they do like the heavy work, like the self-therapy, or truly like protect themselves in the dating scene, like before marriage, and then they get married. They have a good, I'm not saying like all of marriage, because obviously it's like impossible, but they have a good first 5 years, and then they have like the difficulties and stuff like that. With a child, I feel like Elijah was such a great first kid.
But we still have so many challenges with him.
Yeah, but it's a baby. I feel like the majority, like he's such an easy baby.
Okay, so now what I hear you say then is that the first part may be a honeymoon phase, but later on challenges will come whether you like it or not.
Yeah, that there's going to be challenges in life. But it can start easy, or it could be easy at one point.
Okay, and here's where I want to get to, because I was thinking about this as well. The story of the hare and the turtle, okay? And this may not pertain completely to like a relationship or having kids, but in certain things like a fitness journey or business or education, things like that. Like, I feel like there's some people that are talented, right? And they're like, okay, like they're talented. They probably have some sort of passion for it, right? And so they go like, oh, like let's say working out. I have the genes for it. Like I'm just naturally talented. Like if I work out for like a month, I'm already jacked, right? And so you have these people that are amazingly talented. And that in my head is the hare. Fast. And exactly what you're saying, like it'll be easy at the beginning. But in that story, who wins the race? It's not the hare. And I feel like that translates into life when so many of us that might have a fleeting passion, we might have a talent that we're like, this will be easy for us. We start fast. You're like metaphorically a sprinter, like boom, right at the gate, where everyone else is like, how is this person so fast? How is this person so great? But the question will always, over time, be, do they have the stamina? Do they have the character to keep going past that little sprint? Right? And it's past that little sprint where you really start like getting challenged, like mentally, physically, like, and I'm talking again, business. Like you could start off and like, oh, I have this product and it's a unique product and it stands out on its own. And that's awesome. That's only one part of the business. Then it's actually like, okay, let's open up this business name. Let's get the domain. Let's start scaling. Let's get this out to the other people. Like there's so many things that happens. Like you need to have the stamina. Without the stamina, you're just a quick like a one-shot wonder, really, or not even that. Like you're just somebody who quick out the gate, but on the long run, you get passed by the turtle. And it's the people who are willing and that know slow and steady wins the race. This is about longevity. There's going to be challenges, and I need to conserve and keep moving forward, right? And so, I don't know. I kind of challenge that way of thinking that, like, oh, it'll be easy at first. Like, yeah, everyone has like a honeymoon stage. But when things get tough, what do people tend to do?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm really talking about. Like when Israel gets told, like, here's what's going to happen, they're like, yeah, but we're kind of comfortable here. And Moses comes and does all these wonders and stuff. And they're like, all right, we're sold. We're in. Let's go. They made the decision. They're like, oh, this is going to be awesome. Like we believe in this. How do we not believe in God when all this just happened? Like, okay, let's go. We're going. But like how many days did they last without like complaining? Like it wasn't very long before they started complaining. Like, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? Like, and it was just basically downhill from there. Like something that shouldn't have taken 40 years took 40 years. Right. And so that's kind of, I want to set, the whole point of this whole conversation is I want to set the realistic expectation for people that want to jump into something, because I feel like there's far too many people that are jumping into something with a quick like fire, with like with a fire that doesn't have enough wood to keep going. And they fizzle out. They jump into like whatever, like social media. I'm going to start social media. And they realize like, oh man, like it's a lot of work to do social media. I'm going to open up this business. It's a lot of work to do this, continue this business. Like it's fun to make the artwork and it's fun to like have these ideas or whatever. But when it gets down to like your boots are on the ground, like I think so many people go like, it's too hard. And then the excuses come up, which really translates to the justification of why they're not going to do it anymore. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we're in a time where we need more people to be the turtles, to be willing to stick it out in the long run, and to have the realistic expectation of this is going to be a challenge. But regardless of the challenge, I'll continue forward.
Yeah, that's good. And I think sometimes I'm like, it seems too easy to be true in my head, where I'm like, oh, it's just consistency that sets apart the people who have made it, whether that's in the fitness world or influencers or companies or whatever it is. I'm like, is it just consistency? And then it makes me think like, dang, is consistency really like that hard for a majority of people? Because
for a majority of people,
it seems like, oh, that's it. Like everyone's going to do it. But you ask yourself like, why is everyone not doing it if it's just consistency? And so that's usually what I like my pep talk when I get tired or don't want to do something. I'm like, Grace, it's not that hard. Just be consistent, and before you know it, you'll make it. Because sometimes it is. I mean, obviously, it's like talent and creativity, like whatever. But the main thing that's going to set you apart nowadays is consistency.
How would you? What's the word I'm looking for? Let's just call it balance. How would you balance out the difference between enjoying the honeymoon phase and having realistic expectations? For example, how do you tell somebody that's about to step into a relationship that they're so giddy about? This is going to be amazing. We connect on so many levels. We have so much things in common. This is going to be great. And how do you like give them advice and saying like, enjoy it? But when the feelings fade, you're gonna have to choose enjoyment. You have to choose love. Like how do you? Because I feel like somebody who's in that honeymoon phase. I'm like, oh, I'm about to start this business and it's gonna be amazing. Blah blah blah. Like, how can you be a good friend and let them know like, that's awesome that you're excited, but hard times are coming. You know, like how do you balance that? Because like you want to say it out of like, I want you to have realistic expectations for when those times come, you don't get surprised by it. It's like, I knew this was coming and it's okay. Now I'll be, because I feel like a lot of people like think that it'll always be rainbows and butterflies. Like that relationship will always like be, even 1 to 5 to 10 to 20 years, it'll always feel like the first time. It'll always feel like the first day, like, oh my gosh, like I'm so in love with you. And especially with you have like, I mean, let's be honest, we have some people like that are running marriage conferences like, oh, we've been dating for like ever and we're like so in love after 50 years. We still like, that took work. Like, let's be honest, that took a lot of work. Tell us about the hard times. Tell us about the times that you almost divorced each other. Like, tell us those things. Because, I mean, you just, again, it's the whole pedestal and like, we're nowhere near them. Like, I want to be just like them at 75 years old and so in love and still dating each other. Like, yeah, that's awesome. Like, but like, tell us the in between. Like, give us the expectation. What can we expect? But the original question was, how do you become a good friend? I went on a tangent. But how do you become, like, how can you be a good friend and not necessarily pop somebody's bubble, but kind of be like, it's going to get tough sooner or later?
I do, now that you mention it, I do notice when there is someone that we're like talking to where you're like, oh, like you're more of the forewarning. And I'm like, oh, how exciting. Like, I feel like we're very different in that aspect.
And that's good that we are different because, I mean, we obviously become one better person when we're together, right? But like, I feel like the way that I come across, a lot of people don't understand it. But 100%, whenever I do something like that, it's never that I'm jealous. It's never that like I'm not happy for you. It's like I want to say like enjoy it, but hard times are coming. And I feel like the moment,
not that but.
The moment that people hear the but, it's just like, wow, like you don't want us to succeed, or
I say enjoy it and just invest in reading books. That
because reading books is going to keep that original flame alive.
No, but it makes you aware. Like, okay, so you asked me.
You're basically saying put it on somebody else to tell them the truth. I don't want to be the one that tells them the truth.
That's what I was going to say, because you asked me what I would do as a friend. Mm-hmm. I don't remember the last time. Well, I guess like I gave someone advice recently, but I feel like that was more natural because we were both sharing experiences of like difficult seasons. But I'm trying to think of someone who like gave advice who they were all like giddy and like it was rainbows and butterflies. But I truly think if I share my story, and especially how you say like some people are like, oh, you guys are young and 9 years married and have kids and are quote unquote like successful, right? How you said like getting rid of that pedestal is like telling my story. Mm-hmm. And so when I share my story, they can see me in a part, or they can usually see themselves in you or me, like one of us, because we're so different. Because I think most people know that it's difficult. And then they're like, oh, wow. And I do tell people, I don't say you guys are going to struggle. But one thing I do tell people is movies, books, magazines, social media, like comparison is a thief of joy. And you having those expectations, you will always, sometimes they're unrealistic expectations that are going to make you upset or like question. And when that romance is gone per se. Like, why don't they act like this and sweep me on my feet? Why don't they act like this? And like, you will go down this hole of never being happy in it. But I don't say like because everyone has different struggles. Some people have financial struggles. Some have porn struggles. Some have communication. Some have family. So to be like, not pinpoint, but say.
But you basically just said what I said, but dancing around it.
I'm not dancing around it.
Because my thing is like, get straight to the point. Like,
but you are
enjoy it, but the tough times are coming. Whether you like it or not, I'm not here to burst your bubble.
Yeah, you can.
I'm here to like, because
I don't like. I think I don't like the but. I mean, you're saying you're right, 100%. You're right.
You don't like the but.
You're right. I always tell people, marriage is not to make you happy; it's to make you holy. And so there's things that are not going to come natural to you that you're going to have to put work in. Like, you see how I'm saying the exact same thing, but I'm not saying. But that makes it like when you say but, it takes away everything that you say before. Like, oh, good for you that you're enjoying it, making it seem like the enjoyment is fake. It's like, no, you're enjoying it. And know that there's going to be seasons where you have to choose holiness rather than making yourself happy. You're saying the exact same thing.
Okay, and that's where I guess this might be a personal thing. Just let us know if like you resonate with my side or you more resonate with Grace's, because that's one of my pet peeves with people dancing around.
It's not
things.
dancing around.
No. From my perspective, it's dancing around, because your verbatim word was like, oh, enjoy it. Just know that, there's going to be a time that you pick holiness and, like.
Or enjoy it and know that there's going to be a time that's going to be difficult. You can say the exact same thing you said. The but just cancels off everything before. It's just verbiage to
I feel like even if you thought about it and you thought about, I'm not going to use the word but, I'm going to use the word and, you still wouldn't say it to people. And again, that's my pet peeve. Like, I want them to enjoy it, and I don't want them to see me like the person that's bursting the bubble. So I'm going to find a certain way, a certain code of verbiage where I can kind of dance around it, kind of alleviate my consciousness to be like, oh, I said something, like it's up to them if they want to crack the code or not. And I'll just leave it up to them. And maybe even the cherry on top is like, I'll always be their friend. So if they ever have a struggle, I'll be here to help them in any way possible. Or what I'm saying is, okay, perfect example. And this kind of goes with my thing that I said, I don't know how many episodes back. Lamaze class. Mm-hmm. You're having a baby and it's amazing, but here's everything you're going to expect. It's going to hurt. You're going to go through the ring of fire. Here's all the expectations. And what is the whole point of that? For you to be mentally prepared for when it happens, you don't freak out. You don't give up. You don't turn around and quit. No. This is what's going to happen whether you like it or not. And at the end of this, when you do all this work and when you go through all this challenge, you will have one of the biggest blessings that you'll ever have. That is basically what I'm saying. Like, it is amazing that you guys are doing this, whether it's going into business or whether it's in a new relationship or whether you're in a financial or fitness journey. Like, it's amazing that you're fired up right now, that you got this spark and you got the fire going, but just letting you know, you're going to have to go out there and you're going to have to cut the wood to keep the fire going. The fire is not going to keep going on its own. And it's going to be a challenge for you to go out in the cold, chop down the tree, chop it down into little bits, and start throwing this in the fire. It's going to be hard when the challenges come. It's going to be hard when curveballs come that you never even expected.
I think it's just semantics at this point, But I looked up at the dictionary and it's used to introduce a phrase or clause contrasting with what has already been mentioned.
You are focusing on semantics. For you to look that up, homegirl.
That's what I'm saying. We're saying the exact same thing. All I'm saying is you can say the exact same thing with the birth. Say, having a baby was the best gift of my life and it tested my mental health. It's not contrasting. It's not going against like what you said. It's saying, and this is going to happen. Because I feel like if you tell someone, like it's just for the other person, again, I think we're saying the same thing, but it's for the other person to be, not to be like, oh, they don't like, not supporting me or they think this is going to end. It's like, oh no, they realize that I'm in this stage and they're affirming that I'm in this stage and this, like both things can be true. It just puts the people's...
Okay, I want to re-ask you the question then. If there was a relationship where they were like, what do you think? I'm over the moon for this person. We connect on so many levels. We're compatible. I'm on cloud 9. I'm never coming down. What are you going to tell them to give them realistic expectations?
Well, just based off of what you said, usually I always go with the advice my mom gave. It's having them think, have you given someone the power to veto? Because you're in the bubble and it's beautiful being in love, but sometimes it does cloud our defenses. And so do you have a parent, a best friend, someone who's outside of the box that you've given them the power to veto, to be like, hey, there's a red flag that you're not looking.
Okay, but we're not talking about red flags. I'm talking about like they're already decided to be in a relationship. And they're in that teenage mode that even though that you tell them there might be a red flag, well, guess what? Like they're in the honeymoon phase. There's no like stopping them from being like together. So what I'm saying is, how do you tell them that's amazing? Like, how do you, in your more healthy way, do you tell them that's amazing, enjoy it right now, but hard times are coming?
Yeah, I'd say that's amazing. Enjoy it. I know stories who got married with their high school sweetheart, and I have heard of stories of heartbreak that can lead you to break up and make you find someone even better that you can't even imagine now. And so know that I'm always here for whichever path. Like letting them know that there's two options. And I'm aware that it could lead to the good part and it could lead to the bad. And I'm going to be there to support either or.
I just go back to the same, like Lamaze thing. Like, I think it's so important to give people, like, put everything on the table.
Yeah. But what I said doesn't put everything on the table? It does. We're saying the exact
kind of
same
like
thing.
dances around it.
I'm not dancing around it. I'm saying I know people who get married when they're young, like their high school sweetheart, and I know people who will break up and find someone better.
You're kind of dancing around it.
How is that dancing around it?
Because, okay.
I'm not saying, I can't say you will go through hard. Like, I don't know their story, if they're going to get married or if not.
Grace. Everybody goes through hard times in relationships.
100%. That's not what I said.
You just said, I don't know if they will go through hard times.
No, I don't know if they will break up and not be together or if they will continue and get married.
Yeah, but what if the difference between them breaking up or not breaking up is the fact that somebody told them things will get tough. Here's what you can expect. When you reach those points in your life, like if you really want it to work, choose love for each other. Didn't
you tell me your therapist, like, because you're making it seem like you're just seeing something beautiful and you're just like, hey, I want you to know that's not going to last. Where they're like, did they even ask you? Because if someone asks, I 100% lay it all out on the table.
Okay, I'm also not saying I'm gonna go around popping everybody's
That's what it makes it seem.
No.
Okay, but listen, your perspective is like, oh, it's so beautiful, we're happy, da-da. Oh, awesome. Have you thought like you're struggling financially and 50% of divorce? Like you're just like inserting the pessimistic part of it, right? Versus when people usually are bringing me into the relationship, like saying, look at this, give me your feedback. I will never shy away from, this is what happened. This is the hard work. We went through therapy. We went through conferences. We read books. I never have shied. And you know me, like I never have shied from telling them the ugly of our story so that they know how hard work is.
Okay, I have a question. Would the story of Israel change if they were told all the hardships that they would have gone through? One. Number two, would the story of Israel and the religious people in the New Testament, would their story have changed if they were not expecting a king to come conquer Rome and rule them, but if they were actually to expect what they got?
So you're implying that it would have been easier for Israel if God just revealed it to them.
Not reveal it to them, but like, hey, you're about to get liberated from this oppression, but you're about to go step into a bunch of challenges. Just get ready for it.
You don't think they knew that? Weren't they told to like
Grace,
fasten? They were told to eat the Passover, prepared to leave, to take like basically the belongings of Egypt and get out of there. And the way they got there was through the difficult symbols and signs and wonders of God. Like they didn't have an easy way out. And so I would expect, knowing you don't have an easy way out, it's not going to get, like, it's not like.
You were talking about a group that was enslaved for years. They get told, we're going to liberate you. They're like, that's cool, but I don't know. It doesn't seem that smart. They get convinced with all the signs and wonders. They're like, all right, we're in. Like, if that's the God that we're following, we're in. Think about it. Like at first, I feel like there was a hesitation of like, are you going to liberate us like for reals? Because we haven't had hope for like a long time. Like, you know, that they're hopeless. They were handed a platter of hope through signs and wonders, things that they had never seen happen.
But that was difficult.
And then they go, oh my gosh, we're actually going to be free. There's no way that we just saw all this and like, no, yeah, for sure, we're in. They don't have the mentality of we're about to step into something like hard. I don't think so. Because again, see it from, if you were a slave and somebody told you, I'm about to liberate you. Mm. One of your biggest like dreams is to be liberated, to be free. You don't have to serve people that you don't like. You don't have to be mistreated. Like, and of course, at first, like it's been so many years, you're like, no, there's no way. And finally, you believe in the hope. You weren't necessarily like in your most soundest of minds. We're just like, okay, well, let's plan this out. Let's think about it. What can we expect when we go into the wilderness? How are we going to eat? How are we going to drink? How's this going to be? How long is this going to, like the planning part, right?
Yeah.
And that's what my point is. If God would have told them, like, I'm going to liberate you, but you guys are going to face a lot of challenges. You guys are going to really have to, your faith is going to be tested. Would that have changed their story?
I think their faith, like you're making it seem like it wasn't tested and then it was. Like, I think they knew.
They did not know what they were going to get themselves into. And again, I don't think you're stepping into the mind of a slave.
I'm stepping into the mind of a slave who thought they were going to be enslaved the whole time. Mm-hmm. Who Moses comes into the scene and is like, I'm going to liberate you. They're probably side-eyeing him. He tells Pharaoh. Pharaoh says, you're working double. So they're working harder and they're like, Moses, why'd you have to open your big mouth? You're making it worse for us. Moses is like adamant, I'm going to free you. They're doing signs that is affecting, like the river is also where they drink. Mm-hmm. the food is also like where, I think the angel of death is the one that, I mean, I could be wrong, but that doesn't touch them. But rather than that, like they're seeing these difficulties. So they're like, wow, God, obviously they believe in God. And they're like, okay, God is working, but it's not like, oh, this is the easy thing. Like they're seeing this is difficult. Like, yeah, now we'll probably get free, but it's not going to be easy. Because even when it's the Passover, they're told like to eat, enjoy their meal and stuff, but like ready to go. Like it's not like a relaxing, like, oh, we're going to be free soon. It's like you put on your shoes, you put on your belt, like you're ready to like flee. And then when they're on their way, they see the army behind them. Like I feel like every step was a test of their faith. It's like, where are we going? It's like the Red Sea. It's like, what? They're stepping in with faith, like knowing the army's behind them. God, what are you going to do? They find themselves in the desert. Okay, cool, we're free now. But then they're thinking, how you said, the preparation. What's happening? Like every step is difficult.
Okay, let me change it a little bit then. Let me shift a little bit.
Now you have me reading my Bible.
You should read your Bible.
No, like right now, like trying to.
Okay, but now I'm going to shift it a little bit. Okay, because I don't think we're going to see eye to eye with the whole Israel story. But do you think one of the reasons why it was written and why it went down was to prepare people?
I think it was to tell a story that people are sinful and forgetful and that God is a great God.
You don't think it has anything to do with preparation?
No, obviously the Holy Spirit uses it to correct us, to remind us.
Because time over time, we see so many stories where, all right, this is what's going to happen. Challenges. This is what's going to happen. Challenges. Here's a calling from God. Challenges. Here's what I'm going to send you over there. Challenges. And you don't think the whole Bible over and over again is trying to mentally prepare the people that are really going to follow Christ of, guess what? Challenges. You're serving an amazing God, but challenges. You're going to get a bunch of callings and promises from God, but guess what? Challenges. You don't think there's a bunch of buts in there?
I think it's a lot of ands. It doesn't say Jesus is good, but it says Jesus is good and you'll be persecuted.
Okay, we're back at semantics because of you.
But I'm telling you, it's and. It does not contrasting.
Okay, but my point is not the semantics, okay? My point is mentally preparing people for what is to come.
And I agree. I've been telling you.
Over and over again, just mentally preparing. You're going to be united as one. And there's challenges. You're going to be called to open a business. And there's challenges.
Yeah, and I agree with that. That's what I've been agreeing. I feel like you've been focusing on my semantics of like, well, I don't like how you're saying it.
Rewind the tape. Who started with, I don't like that you're saying it? Who started with, I don't like your butt?
No, I said I would say it like this, and then you were like, oh, you're beating around the bush. I'm like, that's not beating around the bush.
Okay. So then we can agree that people should be mentally prepared. Because at first you were like, I would let them look. You were kind of giving the vibe of like, no, I would let people just run their course. And if they have a problem, I'll be here.
No, I'd say I'm not going to just go and tell people, hey, this is an issue you're going to get. Like,
you don't think that's a responsibility of ours?
I think
you know how it says in the Bible, like, basically it says that you shouldn't judge unbelievers, but you are called to judge believers. I feel like in the same way, like we have the responsibility to let our brothers and sisters know when we see them on cloud 9. And like, let's be honest, like we go back to what is the purpose of our life here, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not to be on cloud 9, but some people, when they get to cloud 9, they're like, I want to be here forever. Mm-hmm. You don't think it's our responsibility to be like, we don't want you to fall that hard when you fall from that cloud 9. That cloud eventually is going to disappear and you're going to fall. Like, you don't think it's our responsibility to be like, there's challenges ahead.
100%. I feel like obviously people should know that, which is sometimes not common sense for people. I don't think it's not a blanket statement. And I feel like that's where me and you are completely different. You're just very black and white. You like blanket statements. Mm-hmm. I'm not like that. I'm like, I need to see this person. Who is this person? What are they going through? Because this is where I feel like is very spirit driven for me, very discernment driven. Because what if God called them at that moment, that's their season to be on cloud 9? Obviously.
When has anybody been called to be on cloud 9?
When they just left, and it says, if you will listen carefully to the voice of the Lord God and do what is right in his sight, obeying his commands, keeping all his, then I will not make you suffer any of the diseases or whatever. Like I'm saying, like, what if that they're at the top of their mountain? Like God said, I believe God has called some people to prosper. Not everyone. And I feel like that's where everyone takes it, and then they don't realize there's going to be seasons of lacking, and they're like, oh my goodness, and they hit rock bottom hard, and they're like, but I do think that God blesses people and gives them times and seasons where they're on top of the mountain and they're conquering and they're flowing from abundance. And obviously there's going to be seasons in people's lives where they're down. But to discern that, I think discernment is, okay, are they in that season? Do I have to warn them? I truly believe every time I have the option to teach and to preach, I make it known that following Jesus is going to be hard. I make it known that Christianity is not rubbing the lamp of the genie and saying, God, I want this and I want a happy life. Like, I let them know that the persecution has followed the church and like people's lives are going to be difficult. But I think to see someone happy and just be like, oh, like a blanket statement, I feel like I would need to be spirit-led, discern. Because what if it's their season? Jesus also says, you are going to reap what you have not sown. There's going to be moments, Songs of Solomon, there's going to be moments where you destroy and tear down. There's moments where you're going to be building. There's moments where you're rejoicing and there's moments of sorrow. Like, what if they're in their rejoicing season?
What we say as our responsibility to give them realistic expectations should not bring any sword to their cloud 9 feeling. It should simply activate a sort of wisdom and preparation, because I believe that cloud 9, that feeling of honeymoon phase, oh my gosh, this is so amazing, brings a high level of complacency where you rely completely on your quote unquote talent. It could be metaphorical talent or it could be real talent. Like for relationships, metaphorical, because you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. We're so compatible. We have so much in common. This is like, we get each other's humor. This is so easy for us. Complacent. Those people are probably most likely, because they aren't really worried about the challenges ahead that are coming, regardless whether you say it or not, are not reading those books. They're not seeking help. They're not seeking mentors. They're not seeking going to marriage conference. They're not seeking all these things because everything's fine and dandy. And that feeling of fine and dandy always leaves people complacent. Why do I need to grow more? Why do I need to know more? Why do I need any sort of organization or planning or anything? This is bulletproof. Because especially in America, we are, a lot of us seek that moment of lottery. Like, I hit the lottery. I hit this lottery with this woman that I'm about to marry. I hit the lottery with this business idea that I had. I hit the lottery with the talent or the genes that I have to go into this fitness journey. I hit the lottery. But so what? Whether you hit the lottery or not, whether you feel it or not, like, it's all going to take hard work and as time goes on. The flame fizzles out. The cloud disappears. You fall. Like, then the choice comes up to, what are you going to do when things get hard? And then I go back to the Lamaze class. The reason for the Lamaze class is, oh my gosh, we're having a baby that's so amazing, blah, 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 blah. The people who don't do a Lamaze class, they don't know what to expect. And what happens at the first sign of, they get, what's it called? Braxton Hicks. Oh my gosh, we have to go to the hospital. We have to. It's time. And they go and like, ma'am, you're nowhere near. You're nowhere near. Go back home. Oh my gosh, it happened again. Like I have to go to the hospital. Ma'am, you're still nowhere near. Like stop coming back. Like there's a reason why people should expect what's to come. And it's for the sake of, I need to plan for it. I need to plan for it. I need to create a foundation. I need to organize. I need to have the knowledge. I need to have more wisdom. I can't be complacent. I don't know how hard it's going to get. It could be easy. It could be like your deliveries where it's like, poop, oh, the baby's out, you know? But it could be a 32-hour pregnancy. Like you don't know. Exactly what you said. You don't know what type of hard that they're going to go through, but that they're going to go through hard stuff. They're going to go through hard stuff. You're talking about like, oh, let them have this cloud nine. Like you shouldn't be telling them what to expect. That brings sorrow into there's no. I go back to it's our responsibility for the ones that in this case are like quote unquote enlightened. Mm-hmm. We know that regardless, like, I mean, at least I'm in the boat and I'm sure you are. Like, regardless, whatever arena that we step into, it could be easy at first. It's going to get hard eventually. And that's what I'm saying about longevity versus a sprint.
Yeah.
A sprint lasts only so long. But what we lack greatly in the Christian space, in America, is people that have longevity, people that are willing to get to those challenges, are mentally prepared, they have planned for it. There's a contingency plan. There's emergency plan. Like, we're going to get through this. I knew this was coming. And it's not for the sake of, oh no, like God said it was going to be easy the whole time. Nope. Never did.
Yeah. I agree. I think, though, I don't know if I wasn't understanding or like the way you worded it or just you convinced me because I'm like, okay, no, that makes sense what you said right now. I think it was just like, oh, if you're on cloud nine, like, again, I'm seeing the perspective of.
I feel like you are worrying too much about people's emotions, which you tend to do on a personal level.
Yeah, no, but I'm seeing it from the perspective of they're just minding their own business, being happy, and I'm just like, hey.
Okay, and again, it's never, like, I'm not going around, like, let's say our church and be like, pop, 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 pop. No, I'm talking about people that we have relationship with.
Yeah,
like
just
you're like if my brother said, I'm going to go into this business. All right, that's awesome. I would immediately ask him like, okay, what's your plan? What are you going to do? How are you going to do it? What have you been doing? How are you preparing? And then I'd ask like, how long do you think you can last? And then I'd start with the scenarios of like, what if this happens? What plan do you have? What if this happens? What plan do you have? And people that you have a relationship with and obviously, hopefully know your heart, they go, thank you for like bringing that up because these are things that I had not been thinking about that I should think about.
Yeah.
For when I get to that point, I'll be prepared.
No, 100%. I feel like it comes naturally to me. Like when people usually ask me about like my social media, and I'm like, oh, it's great. It could be a part-time income. Like I love it. I get free stuff, whatever. But it's a part-time job. Like you have to post 3 times a day. Like there's times where I don't post and the algorithm goes down. I don't see growth or whatever. But I feel like, again, because I'm so real and open about like the hard parts of my life, that just immediately goes. Same thing when they're in pregnancy or whatever. And I'm like, you know what's going to induce labor? Sex. It's going to suck. But you'd rather it suck during sex than when you're pushing out that baby and you're having more pain. But I feel like it's natural, but I don't see it. I think because my brain is not wired to be like, oh, they're happy. Like the way you were saying it, they're on cloud nine. Like I'm not ever thinking in that mindset. So it was just like, what? Like, I know I don't like that. But it's like, yeah, the reality is where people say about their running. It's like, oh, you're never going to want to feel like running. You just have to do it. Because sometimes I don't want to work out and I have to like, do it because if I stop one day, I will stop. Mm-hmm. And so I have to do it. And sometimes it sucks and I have to like rewire my brain. These sucky moments are going to make me a better runner, going to make me stronger, faster, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like I naturally do it because it is part of giving good counsel, giving good advice. But not how like you like worded it like, oh, if you see them on cloud nine, and you're like, like, ha! I'm going to get you.
But that's what I said. Like, my point was never to like pop people's bubbles. And yeah, like it hopefully comes with like a strong relationship where you both know each other's hearts.
Or not
right?
even in a strong, like, obviously those, like if it's one-on-one or in like a group setting, then yeah, because it'll be just suck if someone's like, I want to open up a business. Do you know that most businesses fail? Like, you're just like, are you trying to discourage me? You know, like there's always those people where you are so excited. It's like, I'm going to do my social media. Ugh, that's going to be so hard. You're never going to be seen. Like, that just seems like this person
I would never say any of that.
No, I know. But I'm saying like, I've felt that from people. And so that gives like an icky feeling. So obviously in those scenarios, like, it's how you said, like, just if you know them in a relationship. But I feel like as a teacher, or when I have the opportunity to like give a sermon, I don't know, like, I guess I'm preaching, right? I feel like I always like say the truth of like, this is difficult. Like, God is not there to make you happy and to have a dandy life. Like, and I feel like those are moments where you're not gonna have a relationship with everyone, but there's truth in that. And same with my students, like, my students know in the beginning I can't have like a relationship with everyone, but let them know like this class will be fun moments, but you're gonna have to put in work. The grade is gonna be what you earned, not what you think you want or what. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Garcia. It's like, no, you earned it. There's gonna be deadlines. Like, you can still say that. I think as long as people, again, that there's that grace and some people know that you care, but it's not just.
I think there's a huge difference between what you said with, let's say somebody says they're going to open a business and you go, did you know that 70% of businesses that open up get closed within the first 3 months? Oh, I want to do this. Oh, did you know that the facts of this, you're going to fail? There's a huge difference between that and I want to open up a business. All right, that's awesome. That's great. I want you to succeed. What are you going to do when this happens? 100%. What are you going to do when that happens? What are you going to do if this happens?
100%.
There's a huge difference. Why? One wants to cut you at your knees. The other wants to mentally prepare you and wants to see you succeed. Mm. They are trying to think of everything that you may or may not have thought of and help you build a stronger base, a stronger foundation.
Yeah.
Again, so when the hard times come, you aren't rocked. You aren't shaken. You aren't uprooted. Like, you're like, I was ready for this. Huge difference.
Yeah, I agree. I think one of them is wise and shows the care. And the other one is just like, no, you're popping your bubble. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I had to take a deep breath.
It took all your energy to convince me.
Yeah, and honestly, it just comes from feeling like I get misunderstood a lot. And it's a crappy feeling to feel like you're constantly misunderstood. Like, oh, you're such a bad person for like trying to pop people's bubbles and stuff. And it's like, that is never my heart. Like, anybody who really knows me, the guys that I meet with on a monthly basis and stuff, like, they know I want to see them win more than anybody else. Mm. And I will do anything possible, whether to like just help literally or help them think or help them like expand their way of thinking or sharing wisdom or whatever. Like, I want to see them win. And so I think the ones who truly know me know that my intention is never to pop bubbles. It is to prepare you for what's up ahead.
100%. I feel like you're a natural coach. And people have called you that, like, because I think if someone maybe looked from the outside in, when I first told you about my social media journey, they would have probably been like, oh my gosh, like, your husband's not supportive, or is he trying to make you second guess yourself? But the questions you told me, I guess it could sound a little like how people brusco, like if they're not used to it or whatever. But the questions you asked in the beginning, and when I told you like I wanted to do TikTok, like really set me up the foundation of like, I'm going to stick with this no matter how hard it gets. And that's a big testament to like you, because you asking, okay, what's your goal? How long are you going to put the goal for? How do you know if you reach your goal? Like, and if I didn't think about that, I wouldn't have not seen that I'm growing. I would not have cared enough to stick to like a deadline to see, wait, is this even worth it? And so, yeah, like I can vouch for you and saying like the questions, more people should ask those questions and they're not asked enough because maybe people are like, it's going to sound too harsh or whatever it is. But it comes from a place of like, I want to see you succeed and I want you to, how you've been saying, mentally prepare for it.
Yeah. But this episode is not about me. It's about people that are on the fence of crossing some sort of border, stepping into something that they're afraid of, or that you've already crossed over and maybe you might be on cloud nine and stuff. This is no way, shape, or form trying to pop your bubble, but it's all for the sake of mentally preparing you, because I strongly believe that when you are mentally prepared, you are less likely to be shaken and to quit. And that was the whole point of this episode. And yeah, I think our desire is for everybody listening to strive to be better every single day. Know that it won't be easy, but we pray that you all keep going regardless of it not being easy, because through all the trials and tribulations, that is where character is formed, and that is where perseverance is formed as well. And so many great things happen through trials and tribulations. There was one thing that a pastor told me once, and he said, a great captain isn't made great in still waters. They are made great through rough waters. So if you've been through some things, you know that you came out better because of it. And it sucked going through it. But once you got through it, you became wiser and you became better. And so the whole point of this episode is, as you are stepping into these great things, know that there is challenges up ahead. Do not become complacent. Look for the knowledge. Look for different perspectives. Look for people that can help you think outside the box of things that you haven't thought about, so you can truly be prepared for what is up ahead. There will be times where all the knowledge and all the wisdom and your strength and everything will run out and your faith will truly be tested. There will be those times. And it's good for you to be mentally prepared for that as well. But we pray that you guys have the mental, spiritual, and physical strength to continue moving forward. And you will see yourself become better every single day. And you will see God's promises come to life. Regardless of how long it takes, it will happen. If He said that it'll happen, it'll happen. You'll see it. And it'll be amazing. And it'll all be worth it.
Amen. That's a good ending.
So we will see you guys on the next episode with another amazing topic from my wife, Grace. I have no idea. She'll probably think about it 30 minutes before we start the recording. But her topics have been really fire lately. So hope you look forward to that next episode next week. We only have a couple of episodes left in the year. One of the episodes will be with my family, which will be amazing. And yeah, we will see you guys on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.